Alright, we're going to begin the Lemonbuster's inspection of a 2005 Corolla, under hood and underside of the vehicle. You can see here the vehicle was recently detailed under the hood. See a little bit of rust on the top of the strut mounts and whatnot. Pretty clean overall. Master's nice and dry, no leakage from the end of the booster or anything like that. You see here different split off door between valves. This one's a little on the rusty side. Yeah, brake lines are in good shape though overall. You can get a look at the exhaust here and the O2 sensor. There's no real signs of leakage or anything like that. See the trans is nice and dry. See the trans fluid's in pretty good shape. I do recommend having that serviced about every 30,000 miles. So the battery has been replaced with a AC Delco unit of 550 cold cranking amps, plenty enough for this little Corolla. You can see here also on the back of the transmission, real nice and dry. Pretty well taken care of car. Go ahead and just take a peek at the airbox here. You can see a nice new clean air filter. We'll go back and re-secure that later when I have two free hands. You can see here though, intake's in good shape. Original alternator. A little bit of noise from the belt here. Probably just a squeaky belt. It was pretty squeaky on its way in. Your power steering fluid is in the cold minimum. Got a little bit of rust forming where the strut tower comes together. You can see there's also some rust here in the strut tower placard. You can see on your top of your hood you have your Toyota VIN placard along with on both fenders. Like to see those always. See down in there, it's real clean. The unit frame rails are pretty straight on this thing. The electric fan. Go ahead and engage the air conditioner so you can see that run. You can see here, I didn't know if I pointed this out. The seal's a little twisted. Alright, we're going to go ahead and turn our air conditioning on. We'll move it into the defrost position as well. That also activates the air conditioning. You can see here your core support is real nice and straight. No signs of any friction. A little bit of rust on the radiator hold now. You can see the radiator itself it's pretty clean. Your electric fan and whatnot. I may not have the unit on. Let me go double check. It should have kicked on by now. It did earlier. Yes, I have it on off. Let's try that again. Apologize for that. But you can see AC compressors running, electric fans going as it should, coming on with the AC. Your motor mount's in pretty decent shape there. The great thing about these Corollas, you can get a good look at the condenser on it. There's a lot of room here. Your AC lines are not leaking there, and the condenser looks pretty good shape. Real common problem for AC leaks on Corollas is the AC condenser. They have a lot of problems with those leaking. It's real dry and clean, no real oil leaks or anything like that. Go ahead and take a peek here at the underside of the condenser. They like to leak in these lower corners. You can see it's got a built-in receiver dryer. We're all real nice and clean. You can see the transmission pan's clean. A little bit of rust on the cross member. The oil pan's nice and dry. A little surface rust here and there. Nothing that's end of the world type stuff. You can see here we've got hubcaps with BFG tires on it. Got a little bit of curb rashing on them. Tires in pretty good shape. This one's got about 70% or so left on it. That's a good deal there. And try to get the brakes on here. You can see the rotors are kind of okay-ish on it. They're real frosted up at the moment. With these steel wheels, it's really difficult to get the brakes on video. You can see here our coil spring and whatnot. It's got a little bit of rust in there in spots. Kind of typical, normal stuff here. So I'm going to crank the wheel real fast so you can get a better look. You can see here, you can get a good look at your rat switches, your control arm, sway bar links, your strut, brake hose, tie rod end, CV axle. Get a good look at everything going on in here. See, there's no real leaks. A little rust here and there, kind of typical. go ahead and continue underneath here. You can see the unibody's in pretty good shape. Rockers are nice and clean. Brake lines are pretty good. Once again, you got some rust here and there. Very typical on suspension components underneath. This is a 2005 car. It's living in Illinois. Gonna have some rust. You can see the fuel tank's in good shape. Move on to the right rear tire. Not quite in good shape as that front tire. About 60% or so left on it. See the hubcaps are pretty good. Just minor flaws on it. Probably the cleanest hubcap out of all four of them. We're going to go ahead and take a look underneath in the back here. You can see your coilover shock is in good shape here. Your evap canister, real common point on leakage. You can see everything back here is all very original. Factory seam sealer and steel. Trunk floor looks like it's never been touched. Go ahead and look here. You can see your exhaust is in pretty good shape. And we'll go ahead and see if we can get a good look at your suspension underneath here. You can see drum brakes and wheel cylinders aren't leaking or anything like that. These Toyotas tend to go about 100,000 miles or more before even thinking about needing wheel brakes. There's many that hit 100,000 miles are only about 50% used up. Go ahead and look here. We're getting our BFG tire. See, we do have some issues with the curb damage to the hubcaps. Wheels appear to be in pretty good shape underneath here, though. You can see here, once again, we have about 55–60% left on the tread life. See typical rust here on the unibody structure. See some more right in there and around that drain plug. Typical kind of stuff for a car this age. None of it's rotted through or anything along those lines. You see the unibody, it's in pretty good shape for the most part. If you look at the rack on this side, you can see your rack's in good shape. Typical surface rust and whatnot. The tire on end. See your axle there. Sway bar length. Brake hose, your coilover strut. You can see here your front tire once again. Got about 70–75% left on it. The car has probably newer front tires, or has been recently rotated. You see here the front hubcap's in pretty good shape on this thing. Well, at this point we're going to go ahead and wrap up the video portion of the Lemonbuster's inspection of a 2005 Toyota Corolla.